Your Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I greet each and every one of you. This is the fourth meeting on the topic of special economic zones that I'm attending this year. And I'm very happy to be with all of you. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting the African Union Commission to share our views on how special economic zones can be leveraged to unlock Africa's immense economic opportunities to achieve inclusive growth and economic transformation. Achieving Africa's transformation requires strengthening the role of special economic zones for investment effectiveness, industrial development, and job creation. In this light, the theme of this 6th annual meeting, Connecting Africa's Special Economic Zones to Global Value Chains at the era of the African Continental Free Trade Area, allows us to reflect on how to leverage special economic zones for economic transformation and inclusive growth across our continent. As we reflect on the crucial role of special economic zones for Africa's integration in the global value chains, recent assessments suggest that, with few exceptions, the performance of African special economic zones has so far been below expectations and are far from achieving their objectives and full potentials. With this state of affairs, it is pertinent to recall the key elements of the global value chains. And these are research and development, innovation/design, investment/production, supply chains basically anchored on intra-firm trade, marketing, branding, and retailing. The key question from these elements is, where do African special economic zones stand on each of these elements? Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, the development of regional and continental value chains is a key catalyst for growing this market through intra-African trade in manufactured, agro-processed, and intermediate goods. The key question related to the foregoing is, how do we create synergies between global value chains on one hand and regional and continental value chains on the other hand? As we address this question, the key task is to make African special economic zones contribute to increasing Africa's share of global trade, while at the same time contributing to the development of intra-African trade. Performing these two tasks calls for focus on some key issues, which I'll highlight. First, there's need to build internal capacities and capabilities in research and development, as well as innovation and design. With these, Africa will be better placed to move up in the global value chains, as well as increase levels of intra-African trade. Second, there's need for sufficient investment in basic physical and digital infrastructure. Digitalization is key to connecting special economic zones to regional and global value chains. The African governments and the private sector firms need to play a role in this drive. Governments should focus on investments in physical infrastructure to allow private companies such as small and medium enterprises and startups to participate in the digital economy. As an example, new technologies have been crucial in mitigating supply chain disruptions and facilitated trade in essential products such as pharmaceuticals. It is the acceleration of Africa's digital transformation that led African policymakers to fast-track phase 3 of the negotiations in the African Continental Free Trade Area to establish a continental protocol on electronic commerce to fully leverage the potential of intra-African digital trade. Third, there is need to improve regulatory frameworks and make sure that they are conducive to private sector investment and innovation. Investors and firms need to access sound and stable legal frameworks with judicial systems that protect property rights, including intellectual property rights. Fourth, there is need to develop human resources to take advantage of regional and global value chains. In so doing, governments need to invest in education, particularly in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, while the private sector needs to assist by investing in training employees on technical skills specific to their businesses. Fifth, there's need to channel financial resources to Africa's industrialization. Scaling up both domestic and external financial resources is central to Africa's industrialization, as its financing gap remains large, at around 6% of GDP, with a gross domestic savings rate consistently lower than the gross domestic investment rate. New approaches to development financing revolve around sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, insurance savings, private equity funds, diaspora and sovereign bonds, remittances, public-private partnerships, as well as the curtailment of illicit financial flows from Africa. Related to this, all of this is the need to overcome energy bottlenecks across Africa. And in this way, we shall be contributing to boosting productivity in Africa's industrialization drive. To conclude, let me underscore that continental recovery to COVID-19 relies on the concerted efforts of all parties, both to ensure Africa's beneficial participation in the continental and global value chains, and taking firm actions to access vaccines, as well as mitigate climate change. Special economic zones have a critical role to play in all this. I'll end here and wish you fruitful deliberations.